Phil Ivey claims a victim at the feature table. The 2014 main event is in the money.
That's his Dolly Brunson, who wrote the book.
And there it is. Helmuth wins the championship. This is gonna be the best day of
Ryan Reese is the world champion.
Biggest day of my life.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Las Vegas. We've got the World Series of Poker main event covered for you here on day 4. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. One of the biggest stories so far, Ronnie Barta cashed in the main event for the 5th straight year.
How's he do it? He plays small pots and says he won't flip a coin for all his chips on day 1 or 2.
And with pocket aces and fewer than 20 big blinds, he's all in. Virgil Niculescu now. He was the original raiser with King Jack offsuit.
32-year-old Romanian engineer.
Barta looking for another double up.
I asked Mike Sika and Chad Brown for a big hand this hand. I swear to God and everything I love. They both passed away this year, and they gave me 2 aces. I said, give me a big hand from above. I want to cry.
And Mike was sick and he still stayed up till 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, he fought really hard, man. He fought really hard. He was a really good guy. Mike Sika, too. I don't know if anybody know Mike Sika from Atlantic City. Yeah. Just world class.
I got his.
I asked him, I said, can I have a big hand? Can I have a big hand, please? This hand. And I looked down and I got aces.
Phil Ivey has the Amazon room buzzing. He's got a big stack to work with.
10 bracelets? Big deal. He answers to me. He needs to win the main event.
Mark Newhouse made last year's November 9. Still too early to think about a repeat.
If he makes back-to-back main event final tables, I will dive into the LA River in the buff.
One player who won't be playing here in November, high-stakes pro Phil Galfond.
The bracelet winner, one of Maryland's finest poker products, but hey, we're growing more Galfonds down on the farm.
NASCAR making the money is good for the poker world, you know? Jason White, 23, you know? Yeah, man.
Phil Hellmuth personally trying to congratulate every player who made the money. The top 10 full of strong pros. Dan Smith leads the way, closing in on 2 million chips. Griffin Benger in 5th.
And I have claimed that Jack Schonbacher is a name not worthy of a main event champion. If he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong.
All right, let's get to the feature table where Phil Ivey sits. Ivey with just under 600,000 chips.
If you beat Moneymaker in that hand, though, maybe none of this happens.
Still happens.
I guess it was going to happen eventually, but maybe. Doesn't even seem real that a guy named Moneymaker won. Started the poker boom. Seems like someone set it all up.
Maybe someone did.
Quite the conspiracy theory. In 03, when Moneymaker won, Ivey finished 10th. 11 years later, he's still making the main event more exciting.
He's got the 3rd biggest stack at this table, but the big stack to his left, Felix Stevenson, is pretty darn good.
Across the table, 25-year-old Kane Callis, son of the late, great broadcaster Harry Callis.
Kane's hobbies are broadcasting, opera, and bowling. I think I'm in love.
All right. Main event action 2014. We're in the money. 3 chips in play. The 1, 5, and 25K denominations. The blinds at 3 and 6,000 with a 1,000 chip ante. Bruno Politano, a Brazilian businessman, an active poker player with pocket nines under the gun.
And I cannot ignore the elephant in the room, Lon, the umbrella head. August is monsoon season in Las Vegas, but this isn't August, and well, we are indoors.
Bruno Politano with a raise to 14,000. Ivey with ace-king off.
When Chris Moneymaker knocked out Ivey on the 2003 main event final table bubble, it was such a jolt. Ivey didn't feel like flying back afterward, so he drove from Nevada to New Jersey, 4 days in a car thinking about that hand.
Ivey with a re-raise to 45,000. With Ivey's big stack, we should be able to see his full power against this field tonight. Fold it over to Zach Hall and his unique umbrella hat he brings every year.
Yeah, well, I hate getting poked by an umbrella on the street. I can't imagine how irritated a poker player would be if they're poked by an umbrella on the felt.
3-time bracelet winner and UCSB gaucho Jeff Madsen on the button will fold.
By the way, what did Moneymaker start? This is the 9th straight year the main event has had more than 6,000 entrants. When Moneymaker won in 03, the field was 839.
Politano now faced with the re-raise from Ivey.
I'm all in.
And the Brazilian says all in.
Okay. You got 100 more, right, or so? 16 total. More 155 more. Okay.
And Ivy makes the call to try to score another knockout here.
Yeah, 28 big blinds left for Politano, and it's for more than 20% of Ivy's stack.
So Ivy behind in this race for all of Bruno Politano's chips. And Bruno on his feet.
Thank you.
Yeah, another day at the office for Phil Ivey. Bruno Politano a bit on edge, at risk.
All right, here is the flop. Queen, trade, queen. Queen's up for Politano, and now he's nearly a 3-1 favorite.
Ivy thinking, let's keep it moving, folks. I want to see a turn card.
Bruno finished 17th in a field of about 1,000 at a World Series event earlier this summer. 5 of hearts, no help to Ivy.
A very snappy all-in. I think Politano is talking to the deck. And the deck's like a bartender. It's got to listen.
River card. Another 5.
Vamos, filho. Vamos.
Bruno doubles up.
Politano in sync with the deck. If you're in sync with the deck, you are ahead of the game.
In Ivy's mind, maybe thinking, okay, I'll just get him back from someone else a little bit later on. Bruno builds his stack to over 350,000.
The 31-year-old Brazilian forging a nice relationship with the deck.
As day 4 winds down, it becomes more apparent that in tournament poker you have to win races to survive and advance. Sure, ace-king versus ace-queen is a dream, but the reality is usually ace-king up against a pair. And having made multiple final tables this year, I'm very aware, Norman, of how critical those coin flips are.
Multiple final tables? At one of them, the event started with one table. At another, you were Rosie Ruiz. They put you in the tournament toward the end. This is what you know about coin flips. When we're at dinner together, heads I pay, tails you don't. Yes, you need to win flips to survive, like Bruno Politano just did against my man Phil Ivey. The skill in the game, though, is avoiding the flips. But you know that already, Lon. Final tabling charity events against 17 proctologists.
You guys are good at winning those races. I've never been good at those.
They are tough.
I've never been good at them. I'm good at it in cash games. I'm good at winning races in cash games. It's weird. It's like they all get used up there.
Ivy's as good as they come, but I don't like to hear him mumbling about losing flips. It's beneath him.
Now to the 25-year-old Callis, 9-8 of diamonds.
His father, Harry Callis, was the Philadelphia Phillies broadcaster for 39 seasons.
Raised to 3 times the big blind, 18,000 from Callis. Now, the newly doubled up Politano will sit this one out, as does Ivy. In the small blind, Felix Stevenson folds to Curtis Reistad. In the big blind, living in Mexico at the moment, calls himself an investor.
He likes to play golf. He's dressed to play golf. He should use the guy next to him as his caddy in case it rains.
10-8 offsuit.
10-8 off. He should be playing golf.
12,000 more. Reistad calls heads up now. Here's a flop 7, 9-6. Oh, there's a big blind special to go. Reistad flops the nut straight and checks.
You play 10-8 off and flop a straight? That's like holing out from a fairway bunker.
Callis checks with top pair and an open ender. Turn card, deuce of spades. Reistad's still good.
That deuce changes nothing, obviously. And now the investor is going to invest in his immediate future.
With the 10 high straight, 18,000. Callis with the top pair. Also a possible straight to a chop pot.
Yeah, Callis likes the look of that board with his hand. Ken Callis has a Rick Astley look going, no?
He does indeed. And he does puff up and raise it to 52,000.
Well, let me see if I've got this right. I've got the nuts. Well, I better double check and make sure I've got the nuts. And he raised me. I like poker.
What do you want to do with a youngster?
I call.
All right, just a call, 34,000 more.
Yeah, Reistad's showing some inexperience here. Ton of scare cards can come on the river. He should have put in a re-raise there.
5 of hearts. That gives Callis a lower straight and puts 3 hearts on the board. Scary enough for you? Tiny bet of 35,000.
Callis makes a 9 high straight, but that heart might slow him down.
You have any orange left?
Callis with more than twice the stack of Reistad.
Call.
There's the call. There's the bigger straight. Both Callis and Reistad now with just over 300K.
What a horrible river. Makes sense. What is it, 35?
Pretty good flop, though. It was a pretty good flop. I was hoping like a king had come on the river, or ace or whatever.
35,000.
Kane Callis trying to better his biggest ever World Series cash. Ran into a speed bump there by the name of Curtis Rystad. All right, let's go back into the field and back to Ronnie Barta. Ronnie's all in again and called. Ronnie with pocket kings against the ace-king of Argentinian poker pro Christian Rotondo.
And all the rest of the cards. Got kings versus ace-king. We win this one, we're back in business.
Rotondo trying to shut the business down.
Yeah, these are the ones you have to win.
Yeah. Was it like 71 to 29%?
All right, here's the flop. Barta at risk. 5-6 deuce. Barta still good with the kings.
Barta's highest finish during this 5-year main event cashing streak was his first, 24th in 2010.
Turn card now. Jack of hearts. Barta still good. One more card to come.
Rotondo would need an ace, and only an ace, to knock him out.
The river card is an ace!
Oh, God.
Barta is done.
Wanna hold. God.
Rotondo graciously apologizes for that river send-off.
Every year I lose one like that. I just gotta have chips, you know?
Barta, the 2012 bracelet winner, had some dicey moments on his way to his 5th straight main event cash, but his short stack luck ran out.
7.
Just can't fade a river.
On his way to his record-breaking run, Ronnie Barta made friends with just about everyone at the table. Another successful main event for the pro from just outside Boston. The 2014 World Series of Poker is dealt by the WSOP's social game on Facebook and mobile. Sit-and-go tournaments are starting right now. Download for free.
Got 5 in a row, baby.
Ronnie Barta did make it 5 in a row.
Oh. I don't know why I get so emotional, you know, in this tournament.
But his kings couldn't dodge the river ace of Christian Rotondo. Barta gone in 475th place. Kara Scott caught up with him after his elimination.
And I really felt it. It was just jack, 5, deuce, 7, ace. And I'm just, and you just put your head down, and there's always another year. You know, one year I'm going to make it over there in that final 9. And, you know, I'm still young. I still got many years ahead of me. And hopefully I can do the 6th, 7th, 8th time, 9. Let's just keep doing it. And you never know what can happen.
You never know. We'll see you back here for number 6 next year. Thank you.
I hope so. Thank you, guys.
So the remarkable cashing run at the main event continues for Barta. Overall, a pretty strong return on investment for Ronnie.
Great accomplishment, and of course, Barta doesn't think this record will be broken, but it's not like he parted the Red Sea. Someone else will come along and eclipse this one.
Got you.
Kings and Rosie's can ace like 250.
What happens? I got 400.
Yeah, not you.
I got.
Yeah, it's all right. Damn it.
I plan on it, buddy.
Yeah, if you plan on it, then stop tweeting out NFL picks and get back in there and play some Phil Ivey poker.
All right, let's get to an outer table. David Einhorn in the green shirt on the left, flopped a set of 6s, checked it to NASCAR driver Jason White with pocket jacks. He's in the black shirt.
White's been getting some tips from 2013 November 9er Jay Farber. Then he met Phil Hellmuth at a nightclub here, and of course the Poker Brats, his new best friend.
White bets $50,000 into the hedge fund billionaire and high-stakes poker regular from New York, Einhorn.
A great stat on Einhorn. He's probably worth more than everyone else in the Amazon room combined.
And gives all his poker winnings to charity. So we root for him, and there is the check raised to $140,000.
White better go into this turn pretty carefully.
They have similar-sized stacks. White with a slight advantage here. White raises Einhorn all in, who snap calls.
White's not in a good way. Einhorn about to take almost all his chips.
Boy, you look for these exact moments, and Einhorn flopped his set against the overpair, and now looking for the double-up. Turn card 5 of spades keeps Einhorn in the double-up express lane.
Only a jack knocks out Einhorn.
It's an 8, and Einhorn still in the game with over 50 big blinds. The brakes have been put on Jason White's dash to World Series glory, almost knocked down to a day one starting stack, while Einhorn goes over 450,000. Einhorn right in step with the average stack in the room right now as we go back to the featured table where Phil Ivey sits looking to rebound after taking a hit at the hands of Bruno Politano.
Ivey 17th on the all-time World Series cashing list, and he says he wants to win the most bracelets. Ivey says he can win 30. 30! The leader right now, Phil Hellmuth, with 13. 30's a big number.
All right, back to action here at this featured table. Ivey sitting with 393,000 chips. Felix Stevenson raised it up with Jack 10 of diamonds to 13,000. You know, Norman, you proudly mention that Greg Merson and Christian Harder are Maryland boys, but you don't mention Mr. Umbrella Head, who was also a product of Maryland.
He went to University of Maryland, Baltimore County. We wouldn't let him into College Park.
Politano with 9-7 of diamonds in the small blind. Big trouble if he plays this hand. He does fold Ivey now with pocket sixes. And he will call for 7,000 more.
Ivey and Stevenson with an unlikely thing in common. They both worked briefly as telemarketers.
Wow. Flop now. Trace 7 jack. Stevenson finds a jack and is crushing Ivey's pocket sixes. Phil checks.
Where do these young kids today get all these great beards from? It doesn't seem fair.
Isn't that true? Stevenson with the best of it, bets 13,000.
Ivey was the only telemarketer on staff who did not speak when he made his calls.
And Ivey does make that call.
You got to push it in further.
Stevenson, big advantage here, going to the turn. 9 of spades. Bruno would have made 2 pair. Ivey still way behind. He checks again. And Stevenson checks back. That was generous. River card, another jack.
Every time I see 0% next to Ivey's name, I think it's a typo.
And now Ivey thinking about it with his sixes. And maybe Stevenson's check on the turn will initiate a bet. There it is, 18,000.
Every time I see 0% next to Ivey's name and he bets, I think it's an apocalypse.
Stevenson now in his second main event, his first ever World Series cash, and a raise to 55,000.
That might be a wake-up call for the 10-time bracelet winner / erstwhile telemarketer.
Ivey trying to get a read on this Norwegian pro. Stevenson with the trip jacks. And Ivey does manage a fold, and Stevenson will drag the winnings.
Well, Ivey smartly gets away before there's any more damage.
High card.
High card means this feature table will be breaking. Ivey will have a new group of players to deal with shortly.
Good hand, buddy.
Nice playing with you, Phil. Good luck.
Stuff me? Yeah, we're too boring.
I wouldn't dare.
That was like the most fun.
We will break also more of the main event in just a moment.
Even though we have the one drop, the $1 million buy-in, I think this is the most prestigious tournament to win. I mean, when you first start playing poker, you dream of winning the main event.
Especially in a tournament like this one, you know, when the stakes are so high, it's very important to just not let it affect you. There's big money jumps, and a lot of people are too concerned about that, and it affects their game.
You have so much time and so much room to maneuver here that pushing those small edges is not the right thing to do here.
I'm just in there, whatever these chips are worth, who cares? I'm playing poker.
You could go broke any hand, so you want to really make the best decision you possibly can make in every pot. You know, as long as you do that, you know, you live in the moment and make the best decisions, you know, you have a good shot.
Back inside the Amazon room, you see a few notable stacks there. John Joanda hanging around with 430,000. And joining the masses away from the featured table is Phil Ivey. His table broke. He got sent to a table with 8 new players.
Maybe he'll do some live telemarketing and try to convince his new table mates to sample his Ivy League training site.
All right, let's catch up with Kara Scott, who was with a new member of our featured table.
Poker pro Maria Ho is coming to the feature table now here on day 4. You've gone deep before. So how does that help you on a day like this?
I think that I just don't have that jittery kind of nervousness that some players have. I feel very, very comfortable. I feel great with this kind of structure. Some players aren't. So I think that's going to work really well to my advantage.
You had a great summer so far, right? So that must kind of give you that momentum coming in.
Yeah, you know, this is my all-time best in terms of number of cashes at the World Series. So this is being my 8th one. I'm really hoping to make this one count. So it's felt good so far, and I've been waiting for a deep run.
8th cash this summer so far, hoping for a final table. Thank you, Maria.
Maria, certainly one of the most recognizable females in the game and one of the more recognizable players, period. She does it all. She plays well, she does poker commentary, and she appears on reality shows.
Yes, she is the color commentator on the Heartland Poker Tour, so she's essentially me without the looks, charm, or a personality.
So we welcome Maria to the stage with the random draw. Felix Stevenson drew this table and will remain under the bright lights.
Action over here. Yeah, it sure looked like it.
Action on Joe DeGeorge, an amateur from Branchport, New York, with Jack 9, a raise to 19,000.
He's a textile company president.
Several amateurs taking their turn at this unique featured table. People do say when they sit here, they tend to play a little differently under the lights.
I'm sorry, Lon. Who are these people? Did they just open up the Amazon room doors and let in these folks? I've been here for days and I haven't seen these people.
We love to have these non-pros in the main event, of course. In the big blind is Maria with pocket kings, a welcome gift for her.
Maria says the key to the main event is adjusting to the dynamics of a new table again and again. It sounds easy, but it's not.
Maria, also an accomplished singer and dancer as well as poker pro, just calls for 11,000 with the kings.
Operation Let's Trap the textile company president is underway.
6, 10, 8. The kings still lead. DeGeorge is open-ended.
That board might worry Maria. Flush and straight possibilities out there.
She does check it. DeGeorge. Joe D, as his friends call him, bets 28,000.
Important note to amateurs, just because you were thinking of getting aggressive post-flop with a hand like pocket kings doesn't mean you have to see the plan through. Believe it or not, the actual flop does matter.
Just a call from Maria with those pocket kings. The jack pairs to George, but he still trails the pocket kings of Ho, and she checks.
Well, Maria's slow play may end up slowly working out for DeGeorge. He's still behind, but lots of hope with that board.
38,000 now from Joe D.
At this point, Lon, Maria thinks she's either ahead or behind in the hand.
That's poker pro thinking. That's how I have to elevate my game. She calls for 38,000. As you mentioned, not going crazy with the pocket kings. River card now. Another 10, so kings up are best for Maria Ho.
Two pair.
Check, check. Maria, we'll take that pot.
Jack of diamonds, 9 of clubs for 2 pair combinations. For 2 bigger pair, and Maria will win this pot.
I was like, that's what I get for slow playing them. I'm cracked. But nope.
I've got a friend whose Twitter handle is never slow play. He's right.
You've got a friend?
Wasn't a great turn card for me, though. I knew that.
Let's get back to Phil Ivey, who's all in and behind with one card to come. He shoved on the double-paired board with ace-king, called by pro John Cabage with jacks.
I'm sorry, my man has pushed all in with 6 outs to survive? Who's training? The training pros. What a bad read.
5 of clubs, and that's going to bring Ivey's main event to a close.
No, I'll get the chair, Phil. You go get your stinking 25 grand. You're dead to me, buddy.
The 10-time bracelet winner is out of the main event. Fortunes can change so quickly. 1 minute you're well above average, the next out the door. Continues next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. The dash for 10 million is on.
Vamos, filho.
You guys are good at those races. I'm good at those.
Welcome back to the main event. Over the first 3.5 days of play, many big names have been eliminated. We just saw Phil Ivey go out after such a promising start. So what to do after busting out of the main event? For Phil Hellmuth, Mike Matusow, Phil Locke, and Jean-Robert Ballon, the answer was simple. Play the Side Action Championship.
Welcome to the first and perhaps last Side Action Championship. One poker pro will be crowned Side Action Champion and earn $2,500 minus taxes. And of course, tipping the TV host generally is considered appropriate. Tonight, 3 accomplished bracelet winners
plus Jean-Robert Ballan will compete for the title. Let the Side Action Championships begin. The Side Action Championship is a series of 8 events where the players will be awarded points for finishing first, second, and third. Whoever has the most total points at the end of the 8 different events will win $2,500 and, most importantly, the trophy. The first game is poker shuffleboard. Each player gets 4 card flicks. If the card lands entirely in the box, they get 3 points. A card touching the line gets 1 point.
I found a way to make a final table.
So you know how to flip?
He's never done it. New territory. No. Focus, Phil. Focus. In the market.
Phil,
come on.
Your glasses.
Focus. Try
like this. Oh, this is priceless.
No way.
Touch the box. That's 1 point.
Oh.
All right, now for JRB's 4 attempts.
He's a professional, like, gets staker. Flowing it. Free rolling the dealer event. It's not all the way in. It's not a free.
It is all the way in. The line counts. Soccer, the line counts.
No, it has to be all the way in.
No way.
1 point.
1 point.
And now the Cherry Bomber for his 4 attempts.
I set it up. I line it up.
And he flicks.
And then I make the points.
Flick. Okay, that was a
short.
flick. That's short, buddy. Just a flick.
That was close.
You are cherry bombing it again, brother. Free money for me.
Phil, you and I might tie for first.
Yeah, right. That's one. He's
on the board. On the board.
Three-way tie.
Dismal. It's ridiculous that you guys are tied with me, as beautiful as my shot was.
Now the Mouth, who will need 2 points for the win in this event.
3 points. That's an automatic win. It's over. Oh, God, he got it. Yes. He just broke my ankle. Yes. It's over on the first throw.
And the Mouth wins event number 1. After one event, the Mouth has 10 points, and the others each have 4 points.
Nice job, Mikey.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Did you notice how the whole thing was inside?
Norman, you in a tuxedo like the walking, talking ace of spades. Very nice.
I have not slept soundly since seeing you and the Mouth hugging.
On the right, 70-year-old main event rookie Bobby Mapp holding the nut flush draw, trying to knock out Bruno Lopez, who tried to steal it with Jack Trey.
The Frenchman has cashed in the main event 3 straight years.
Turn card is a spade, and Mapp will hit the flush and send Lopez out the door.
I guess Lopez wanted to beat the dinner rush at TGI Fridays. Apparently, he might someday break Ronnie Barter's record by shoving with Jack 3.
So Bobby Mapp building quite a stack out there.
Nice there, kid. Thank you.
Hey, Al.
It's about time I got one. I've been sitting here fighting this ever since I got back in that last break. I feel like an alligator's been gnawing my ass.
The payout now up to over $29,000 for Bruno Lopez. Mapp nearing 1 million chips late on day 4. Not bad for his maiden voyage here at the main event.
My name's Robert Mapp. I'm from Waynesboro, Georgia. I've never played in a main event before. The way I got here, my daughter said, I said something about the World Series of Poker, and she said, well, you've always wanted to play. If you want to play, I'll put up the money for you for the plane ticket and the entrance fee. And so I'm going to try to win it for her and let her get that $8 million if she can, or $10 million, whatever it is. I've got 10 grandchildren. I've got 6 boys and 4 girls. We got a real good family, real close family and everything. And we have some little penny poker games around the house. We got poker chips all over both houses. And we sit around on the weekends and rainy days and play poker like people do everywhere else. The biggest fun for me has been, you know, them being as excited as they are about it and telling me they've seen this on the emails and the computers and all the stuff. I don't even own a computer myself.
He's been in the land and timber business for 30 years and his first main event at age 70.
Bobby has the button. Ace Jack off suit. Syed Edelat open raised with 10s. Peter Kimmerlin called with King Queen suited.
Mapp's kids and grandkids bought him in, so he says they're getting all the prize money.
Mapp makes the call. Now Matt Haugen, poker pro, born in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Ace 10.
He's got a finance degree from the University of Florida.
The big blind calls, so a 4-way flop here.
Yeah, 4 players.
The flop. Ace 5 Jack, all hearts. Haugen with top pair and the only flush draw. He checks. Edelat checks. Kimmerlin checks his Broadway draw. Ace is up for Mapp. He checks.
Mapp is supposed to fire out there.
5 of diamonds. Mapp still best. Haugen with an inferior 2 pair.
Haugen knows how to navigate big fields. Earlier this World Series, 19th at a no-limit hold'em event with 1,600 entrants. And in the Monster Stack, the largest non-main event in World Series history, he was 18th in a field of 7,862.
Haugen likes his inferior two-pair, bid 50,000. Edelet and Kemmerlin fold. Matt with top two makes the call. Heads up to the river. 8 of clubs. So Map is best.
The problem when you play with amateurs like Map, because they'll make mistakes, you can't figure them out.
Haugen checks aces and fives. Map with aces and jacks. Checks back.
Haugen's got to figure he has the best hand.
And Haugen now sees he does not. Bobby Mapp, the 70-year-old main event rookie.
Grandpa's got a million chips.
The rush is on. Haugen, as you mentioned, 2 strong World Series showings, and his chip stack tells you he knows what he's doing. 10 grandkids, a free entry over 1 million chips. Life is good for Bobby Mapp. Back to the 2014 World Series of Poker main event. Duck Wynn properly standing up all in with ace-queen of diamonds, but Robert Park woke up with kings as the high pace of all-ins remains high.
Wynn, a Canadian, a marketing consultant. Park, a venture capitalist from Georgia.
I hate you. I hate you right now. I just hate you right now.
Oh my God. There's not going to be running queen.
All right, here's the flop. Oh, a movie flop! Broadway for Wynn, a set of kings for Robert Park.
There's the board now.
Turn card, a 7, that's boring. Wynn's still ahead.
Yeah, that's just like a deuce, a complete waste of our time. Park can still knock out Wynn if the board pairs.
And it does indeed. The jack on the river. Park scores the boat to take the hand back and knock out Duck Wynn.
Boy, if you flop the nut straight and get busted from the main event, you really should get some parting gift besides cash.
This is Wynn's first recorded tournament cash. A nice way to break the seal. Over a 30% boost to Park's chip stack with that knockout. So the venture capitalist got richer. Go figure. NASCAR driver Jason White headed for the pits after being knocked out in 348th.
You never run into sets when you're racing. David Einhorn set cut short White's day 4.
All right, let's get caught up on the table where 2013 November Nighter Mark Newhouse is seated. He does have an opponent with a Harvard MBA to deal with, Tom Roop.
MBA from Harvard, and he's in the hedge fund business. Didn't Harvard used to produce statesmen and leaders?
Newhouse in early position with ace-8 offsuit, raises to 20,000.
No NBA for Newhouse. 2 semesters at Appalachian State. Poker, baby.
Mark said he was hoping for a bigger payday at last year's main event final table so he could afford more time away from the game, but here he is back for more. Roop made the call with a weaker ace.
It's going to be the poker D-Gen against the private equity D-Gen.
Here's the flop, and wow, the last 2 aces in the deck in the flop. Newhouse leads with the better kicker and leads out with 25,000.
Yeah, the card shark likes it, and the money shark likes it.
Yep, he comes along for a call. Turn card now. 4 of hearts. That undercard is very good for Newhouse, and he checks now. Tom Roop bets 40,000.
Can't blame the well-dressed money mogul for betting into the not-as-well-dressed November Niner. Newhouse might be thinking check raise here.
Just a call. Newhouse is best, but let's see how much they believe in themselves here on the river 5 of spades. Newhouse checks, and a check back, and Newhouse's weak ace gets the best of the weaker ace.
That's one sharp Harvard mind with a hanky in his coat pocket. He definitely could have lost more on that one.
Pretty restrained action with trips for both.
So that's how you make the final table.
That's it.
Each player with very healthy chip stacks.
What a flop.
I know. I suppose it could have been worse.
All right, let's get back to the featured table. Jeff Platt on the far right here, shoved with his last 24 big blinds. He has been called by Juan Rodriguez after Rodriguez 4-bet with pocket 8s to isolate Platt.
Platt left sports broadcasting to go into politics. Lon, you should think about doing
Just a little help.
Wait a minute. So Platt all in with a weak ace against the pocket pair.
Kind of feeling it. Maybe on the turn, though.
There's the flop. King deuce 5 all spades.
Ooh,
Platt likes it. Pair of 5s with a nut flush draw.
That's a fun flop, Juancho. You got to admit.
I'm not having a lot of fun right now.
Rodriguez, an Indianapolis poker pro.
Any more fans that I can pick up here? There we go.
Jack of diamonds. Platt misses. He's down to his last chance.
We got some outs. Come on, people.
Platt works the room like a candidate running for office. He needs an ace, 5, or spade, or he is wamboozled.
River card is a spade. The flush comes home for Jeff Platt. His main event is back on track.
So the Raiders dude is in his corner. I ain't voting for this guy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Platt takes a victory lap. And he is still in the game.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, guys.
Nice hand, Jeff.
Thank you, thank you. It didn't take much skill.
I don't think Rodriguez is voting for Platt anytime soon. Me, I'm on the fence.
So Platt now with 55 big blinds to work with. The high-flying granddad Bobby Mapp is still running hot with pocket queens, trying to sweep away the short-stacked New York businessman Tom Thomas, who's all in with ace-jack. The flop 7-8-6.
No help for this 56-year-old amateur, but that's a 10 grandkid approved flop.
Turn card 4 of diamonds puts a straight draw on the board. Thomas looking for any way to survive. The River King won't do it. Bobby Mapp knocks out Thomas. Mapp and fuego here on day 4 as Thomas goes out in 329th.
Something doesn't seem right about that shirt.
But everything going right for Bobby Mapp as day 4 winds down. Each double up so critical. Each elimination so painful.
Kind of feeling it. Maybe on the turn, though.
Payout. Good answer. Learned that from watching you, Dad.
Wayne flips?
It's a joke. Yeah. You're not actually my dad.
Thank you for clearing that up.
We are under 310 players here at the 2014 World Series of Poker main event. Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. The Amazon room still full, just not quite as full. 2 big stacks clashing with $2 million each. Matthew Haugen holds pocket kings, but it was Ukrainian-Israeli pro Timur Margolin who 5-bet with 8 tray of diamonds.
Margolin very feisty with Squadouche here. Haugen not going anywhere, but he's got to be a little scared he might have run into pocket aces.
All right, tournament dealers, if you start the shuffle.
And Haugen says all in. And the 8 tray finally goes into the muck.
Yeah, pocket kings versus 8 tray. That felt like Mike Tyson versus Leon Spinks circa 1988.
That's how you build a big stack quickly here at the main event, and that's how you lose a quarter of your stack quickly here at the main event. And you see on the player tracker, Haugen's good fortune has him now in the chip lead with over $2.8 million. So we are at that stage of the tournament where big stacks are being built at many tables here inside the Amazon room. With $2.4 million in the black shirt is Griffin Benger, a former professional gamer who turned to poker. He has King 10. He and his opponent Ian Sandler each flop Broadway draws.
Benger, 5 World Series cashes this year. Won the EPT Berlin High Roller in 2013 for $562,000.
See, Benger bet $28,000. Sandler had check to him.
Sandler, another money guy, COO of Citadel Global Equities in New York, and he chews gum in his spare time.
And check raises to $65,000. Benger, not going anywhere, calls for $37,000 more.
So once again, a money pro against a poker pro.
Turn card, 6 of spades. Ace high still best for Sandler. He checks again.
He shuts down after his check raise is called.
No shutdown for Benger. He puts Sandler all in. Who folds his no pair?
A good hand on a start.
Benger now living in England with the second biggest stack in the room.
You know, it's good. It's good. When you caught a piece. Did catch a piece.
A piece of what?
Back to Augusta, Georgia's Bobby Mapp. He's suddenly cooled off. He's already given up half his stack. Now with ace deuce in the big blind, facing a raise from Timur Margolin, holding jack 10.
Mapp Map running well, and often when amateurs run well, they widen their starting hand range and get into trouble.
Map does call for 12,000 more with the weakest of aces. Flop 4, 10, 10 trip, 10s for Margolin. And the rush officially over for Grandpa Bobby. He checks.
Margolin plays trip 10s better than he plays 8-3.
He checks back. Turn card, another 10, quad 10s for Margolin. Map checks again. Margolin now reaching 5 orange tips, 25,000. And Bobby will come along.
Map not a believer. He should believe.
River card now. 5 of hearts. And Bobby checks again. Can Margolin get any more chips from Grandpa?
I would doubt it.
Ace high for Map. Quad 10s for Margolin. He has to try. It's a 108,000 chip pot and a bet of 137,000.
137. How much? 137.
137 is a decent chunk of Map's stack. Don't think he's going to gamble away his kids' money on ace high here. Doesn't want to give it up, though.
Well, maybe Margolin trying to make that bet look suspicious. They overbet on the river. And Bobby's thinking about this, Norman. And he makes the call.
Oh, Dan's a good hand.
Gosh, I hope the grandkids aren't up to see this one.
Wow. Low kill there.
So, with the end of day 4 in sight, Bobby Map trending in the wrong direction and trending quickly. 14 World Series of Poker is dealt by the WSOP Circuit Tour. First the ring, then the bracelet. For the official schedule and events in your area, visit WSOP.com. A look at the Amazon room during a recent break from the vantage point of our drone camera. Still 33 tables left, and day 4 about to come to a close.
My day 4 came to a close when Phil Ivey went all in with 6 outs. He's dead to me.
Zach Hall will fold his umbrella and wait till next year.
By the way, I checked the forecast, and there was a 5% chance of rain inside the Rio today, a 2-outer.
I put him on being a redhead. So this is the final hand of day 4 to the active table of chip leader Matthew Haugen and Grandpa Bobby. Action on Timur Margolin of the quad 10s. He has ace 10.
Olivier Bousquet also busted here on day 4. I just figured out why he prefers heads up. There's just one guy to beat.
A raise to 22,000 from Margolin.
I might become a stud 8 heads-up specialist.
Margolin with a raise to 22,000 and pocket aces for Vladimir Bozinovic.
25-year-old Serbian poker pro won a WPT main event in Austria in 2013.
He makes it 58,000 now. Grandpa Map with King 10 of diamonds.
10 grandkids just saw those aces and are shouting, "No, Grandpa, no!"
There we go.
A 4-bet all-in to 143,000.
14 big blinds left. This is the last hand of the night, as you mentioned, and it looks like it might be Bobby Map's last hand of the main event.
Folded back to Margolin now. The original raiser.
What's Margolin up to?
A 5-bet to 227, and Vladimir is singing "Oh, Happy Day" with his aces.
Margolin's a human boomerang.
Map already all in.
Yeah, this is the proverbial catbird seat for Bozinovic, and the catbird seat never loses.
Yeah. Timur sees a lot of green chips being stacked up. Bozinovic now 6 bets to 415,000.
Yeah, on second thought.
The white flag is waved by Margolin. Bobby Map has to overcome pocket aces.
Yeah, Bobby Map hoping to see some real fast run good.
So Grandpa looking to hit something here. The flop is 8-7 trade. Pretty bleak there. 1 diamond.
Map needing running cards to survive. What a main event it's been for the 70-year-old, but it appears it's about to end.
The turn card. 5 of spades. Map's run is done.
Take it easy. Yeah, man. You're doing playing with y'all.
Yeah.
Double check and make sure.
Vladimir over 2 million chips on the last hand of day 4. Sleep well, sir.
I guess we get paid somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, just follow Phil Ivey.
292nd place. The grandkids will be very proud. So it is bag and tag time here at the Amazon Room at the end of day 4. Zach Gigante will put over 2 million more chips into the bag tonight than he did last night. The overall chip leader, Matthew Haugen, also gained almost 2 million chips today. Tonight's DraftKings.com King of the Night is the current chip leader, Matt Haugen.
It was great. Started off 800,000, finished 2.8 million. I guess I'm the chip leader. This tournament's such a unique event, and doing well in this is like obviously every poker player's dream.
So we have Haugen at the top, Benger, Politano, Smith, and Karanen all in the top 10 as well. 291 players left.
No former main event champs left. No Phil Ivey left. I guess I just might root for Jack Schonbacher.
One big name and one big story had their chapters closed tonight.
Nice playing with you, Phil.
Oh, God. Every year I lose one like that. It's going to have chips, you know?
Bobby Mapp's first main event was profitable, but a late collapse means more time with the grandkids.
Oh, damn, it's a good day.
Among the 291 players moving on, Maria Ho, billionaire David Einhorn, and very impressively 2013 November Niner Mark Newhouse in 27th place. For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We're on to day 5.